The book I chose for this assignment was The Greedy Triangle, written and illustrated by Marilyn Burns and Gordon Silveria. This book shows illustrations exploring, containing pictures, drawings to teach mathematical concept. The math concept in the book includes geometry. The Common Core standard that aligns to my practicum class, which is first grade, is going to be distinguishing between defining attributes. And the mathematical practices that I see in this book are model with mathematics and attend to precision. Here we go, the greedy triangle. Class, before we get started, do you know what a triangle is, and can you spot one on the front cover of the book? Correct, it's this orange guy with eyes. Also, can you spot any other shapes on the front cover of the book? Yeah, it looks like we see a yellow circle. I mean, we would assume that it would be a full circle. Good job. Let's start the book. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in symphony orchestras, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Students, what do you notice about the pie and the sailboats in the pictures? Correct, they both have 3 sides. Both pies and the sailboat have 3 sides. Next page. The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way, I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," he grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the triangle went to the local shapeshifter. "How may I help you?" the shapeshifter asked the triangle. "I think if I had just one more side and one more angle," said the triangle, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures, and much, much more. Okay, class, let's count how many sides there are in a quadrilateral. Let's do the TV. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the computer screen. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more. Let's do the checkered board. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Billy, how many sides did we count for all our quadrilaterals? Correct, 4. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be pages of a book. "I learned so many interesting stories that way," it said, "which I can tell my friends." The quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. "How may I help you?" the shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. "I think if I had just one more side and one more angle," said the quadrilateral, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! the shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section on a soccer ball, or appear inside whenever someone drew a 5-pointed star. The pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. I hear all the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell my friends. The Pentagon's friends were feeling left out. Okay, guys, now that the shape is a new shape, which is a pentagon, let's count how many sides there are in a pentagon. Let's count the soccer ball shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do home base for the baseball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as the pentagon of the United States military. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do we notice about pentagons, and how many sides do pentagons have? That's correct, 5. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the pentagon. It became dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. So you're here again, the shapeshifter said to the pentagon. Now what would you like? I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the pentagon into a hexagon. Life changed in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all the new things it could do. The hexagon fit in the floor tiles in the houses and patios. It worked as the socket of certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. But the hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out, said the hexagon. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to its friends. So the friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help but feel ignored. Do you think the friends are happy or sad based on their facial expressions? They look sad. They're feeling ignored. Again and again, the shape became restless, dissatisfied, and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one more shape after another. A heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and on and on. Finally, the shape had many, many sides and many, many angles. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping its balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. One day, when the shape was going down a hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster it went, screeching around the corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles and terrifying walkers. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired, dizzy, lonely, and sad. Enough, thought the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Very careful, it made its way back to the shapeshifter. Aren't you happy yet? The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, said the shape. I'm not surprised, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in a symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Still, the triangle's favorite thing was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news and were glad the triangle was back in shape again. The end. Alrighty. Can anyone tell me one shape that they saw while I was reading the book to the class? Correct. There was a pentagon in the book. And there could be multiple different answers because there was also triangles and quadrilaterals. So they're all correct. Can anyone put their hand on their hips and tell me what shape that they make? So you're going to put your hand on your hip and let's count the sides and see how many and see what shape we're making with our hands on our hips. Correct. Just like in the book, we make a triangle. The end.